the screen. Just as a reminder, and if you haven't been here since Zoom added this feature of telling you that you're being recorded, if you wish to not have your face in the recording, which we keep for, that's not being recorded outside of the fellowship. It's only in fellowship archives. If you wish to not be on the video, you can stop your video and just listen and participate. And also when the video is made, it does not show names. We are using some Zoom recordings in this service today, which were created before that feature was instituted. So some of the names will be showing. So it's good to have you here this morning. And I'll bring up the screen. Again, welcome. My name is Kent McCusick, the minister serving this fellowship, and my pronouns are he and him. Welcome to Religious Education Sunday and happy Father's Day, however you celebrate, in however you father in this culture of 2021. It's good to have you with us today. And as we share segments from our classes this morning, you'll see what a joyful group of children and adults we have in this fellowship. And I would encourage you to consider volunteering as a teacher next year, which you'll have the opportunity to do later this summer. With that, we'll begin our service today, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Kathy Slade, and I serve on your Fellowship Board of Directors. I want to thank you all for being here today and extend a special welcome to any visitors with us. Please stay on after the service for our virtual coffee hour in small breakout rooms, where you may introduce yourself if you are comfortable and join in conversation. In response to improving pandemic conditions, CDC guidelines, and the recommendation of the Regathering Task Force, your Fellowship Board voted this month to welcome small fellowship groups of 10 people or less, UUFA committees, and affinity groups to access the building starting July 1st. Using the pre-pandemic process, groups can schedule an on-site meeting through the office. Access codes will be provided when a reservation has been completed. Masking and social distancing are recommended. While individuals may bring beverage containers, having food at meetings is not an option until the CDC guidelines change. The kitchen being temporarily closed will be superseded by the joy of seeing community members face to face after many months. We are part of a Sunday service collaborative during July and August and will continue to offer streaming Sunday programming through the end of August. If the pandemic conditions remain stable or continue to improve, we are hopeful to return to gathering in Fellowship Hall in September. We will offer both on-site and streaming services. While it has been hard to remain apart for so long, we remain committed to providing a safe environment for all who call our fellowship home. We are excited by the possibility of seeing each other again in person very soon. So on behalf of this caring, nurturing congregation, I welcome each and every one of you to this sacred space. Here we invite you into an experience of transformation, hope, renewal, and connections, which may inspire you to understand life in new ways. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Kathy. We begin our service with the ringing of our chime 3 times. Once to wake the chime, once to open our minds, and once to open our hearts. Sam will sing to draw us into this time of sacred virtual space, and I'll light the chalice to the words of Johann Huizinga.
In the world of the driven, let us be drawn in. Let your love be a given, let us be drawn in. To imagine, to dream, to create, to redeem, for the sake of the living, let us be drawn in.
In play, we move below the level of the serious, as the child does, but we can also move above it in the realm of the beautiful and the sacred.
In the world of the driven, let us be drawn in. Let your love be a given, let us be drawn in. To imagine, to dream, to create, to redeem, for the sake of the living, let us be drawn in.
Good morning. This is Ralph Gandy, and our opening words this morning are Co-Regulation by Elizabeth Mount. From our very first breath, we reach out. Co-regulation, not self-regulation, is in our nature. We find our cues from the sun and the moon, from each parent and caregiver. We find our place in this great turning planet by turning to one another, generation to generation. We awaken to the dawn and fall asleep at the evening's end. Our life's journey is part of something greater, something simple, something divine. A flame cannot be lit without a spark. A life cannot begin without the air, and we cannot begin to find ourselves without love. May we reach out to one another. May we offer love and nurturing care. May we join together in celebration of the interdependence of our lives. In this spirit, we gather in sacred space.
Good morning, this is Dan Haug. Since this is Father's Day and our month's theme is play, that was a tune from a video game that I learned to impress my son. Our reading this morning is by Evan Carville-Zemer, I Believe in Fathering. I believe in fathering. I believe in the radical idea that men have the full human capacity to nurture. Hair bows and baseballs, cooking and creativity, tools and tiaras, camping and dancing, snuggles and shrieks of delight. Too many fathers don't believe in their own fathering. Too many are scarred by their own fathers to hear their hearts say otherwise. Too many have known fathers who, faced with a quivering lip and tears, could only say, man up. Too many have known fathers who knew only yelling and hitting. Too many have known fathers who lost sight of their sacred role of protector and become tormentor. But I believe in fathering. When a woman gestates and gives birth, her brain changes permanently. A father's brain changes permanently too, changes as he rocks his baby to sleep, delights in baby games, and soothes bumps and bruises. A father earns his new neurobiology. In a world where too many mothers hand their co-parent directions more specific than those given to the babysitter, where a father out with his kids is asked, "Are you babysitting?" and "Where's mom?" where fathers are the punchline. I believe in fathering. I believe in the radical idea that men have the full human capacity to nurture. Whether their children come through birth, adoption, or fathering, through scouts, fostering, through scouts, sports, Sunday school, or youth group. I've known too many gay dads, too many single fathers, too many men raising children that others couldn't, to believe otherwise. I believe we all, especially our children, deserve to know that the human capacity to nurture belongs to every one of us. I believe in fathering.
This morning, I'm pleased to offer this special message for Religious Education Sunday.
Hello from the Berkshires. Hi, everyone. For those of you who know me, hello, I've missed you. And for those of you who don't, my name's Janelle Carlson. I used to be part of the UUFA community as the Religious Education Coordinator and a childcare provider. And I left a few years ago and moved out here to beautiful Massachusetts. And I'm really thrilled to be sharing that I'm actually in the process of moving right now back to Central Iowa. And I'm really ecstatic to be rejoining the UUFA community as the temporary 6-month religious education consultant. I'm really thrilled to share everything that I've learned out here in Massachusetts with the program. It's been a bit of a crazy year for everyone, and so I'm excited to be part of this transition with the program, share everything I've learned, and to get to see you all in person.
This is really exciting news for our community. And Janelle and Josh are in the process of moving. They will land in Des Moines mid-July, and Janelle's beginning date will be July 26. So I look forward with you to welcoming Janelle back to this community as we take our next steps in religious education programming. Our time for all ages this morning is a special photo montage with music from Sesame Street, Somebody Come and Play. It's a reminder of times that we had before pandemic and also during pandemic, remembering how to play and playing together, and this message that we can't wait to see you here in the building all together with us again.
Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and smile the smiles and sing the songs. It won't take long. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play my way. Somebody come and rhyme the rhymes and laugh the laughs. It won't take time. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come with me and sing the pleasure in the wind. Somebody come before it gets too late to begin. Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and be my friend and watch the sun till it rains again. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and smile the smiles and sing the songs. It won't take long. La 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 la. Somebody come with me and sing the pleasure in the wind. Somebody come before it gets too late to begin. Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and be my friend and watch the sun till it rains again. Somebody come and play today.
I so look forward to seeing everyone together again soon. Let's sing. Our June offertory recipient is the Ames High School Prairie. Ames High Prairie and Pole Memorial Preserve compose one of the only areas in the state of Iowa that tallgrass prairie remnants are found in the middle of the city. This ideal outdoor laboratory is used by Ames High School students, Iowa State University, and the greater Ames community. At the end of the service, I hope you will go to our UUF Ames website, find the Giving tab, and make your offering to support the continuation of the Ames High School Prairie. Thank you for your generosity, as always. Today, we have a special generosity moment from Molly Helmers.
Morning, everyone. This is Molly Helmers coming to you from my front porch. And I am here this morning with a special thank you for Aleka Kaufman, who co-taught the 6th through 8th grade RE class with myself and Chris McClure. And the reason I wanted to acknowledge Aleka this morning is because she was an instructor for RE every single Sunday morning. And I'm pretty sure that as a 20-year-old, I never would have offered to do that. But Aleka has always been very committed to the youth in the UUFA. And so I'm just grateful that she is still willing to give back to our fellowship and participate in this way. Aleka, like I said, was there every Sunday, and she was a really important instructor in the sense that she was super tech savvy. She was good about reminding me when I was still on mute. She was also very good about sharing her screen, checking the chat, doing all the things that like I think I know to do, but I really don't know to do. And more important, she had really relatable examples and stories to share with the teenagers. And I think that that was an important gift for her to bring to the class, especially for this age group. She also had some really fun games like Pictionary and code names that she was able to lead online. And that was a nice social activity for the 6th through 8th graders. So I want to say thank you, Aleka, from myself and Chris, also from the middle school parents, and really from everyone in the fellowship, because so many people probably avoided that, hey, can you teach RE this year? Question, because Aleka was so generous with her gift of time. So thank you.
Thank you, Molly, and thank you, Aleka. One of the benefits of pandemic this year was that Aleka was at home taking her classes online, which made it possible for her generosity. Again, many, many thanks. Each week, we take time in our service to share significant things, milestones, events that are bringing joy or challenge or gratitude to our life. As I open the room for everyone to be available, please feel free to unmute yourself, introduce yourself, share your milestone, and let us know when you're done. Knowing that we might overlap here and there, but we will be patient with one another as we hear the milestones in our lives for this week. This is our time of sharing.
Okay, well, every time I come, I have something to share. I guess the first thing, I'm Suzanne Zilber, and the first thing I'd like to acknowledge is that one of our young people, Gabe, lost his biological mother this past week. He was in the pre-K first grade class. He's a very sweet boy, and he really appreciates the fellowship. And I wish I could tell you his last name, maybe Bradley, could help if people want to send cards to him. I also lost my mother her name was Ellie Gardner by the time she passed away, but she started off as Betsy Levy and then Betsy Zilber, and she was 86 years old when she passed away from Parkinson's. I was grateful that my sister was there to help, manage that whole process. My mother didn't suffer for very long. And I'm glad that she can be in a new spiritual place, not be limited by her body, which was failing her. On the positive side, my seller offered our acceptance on their house. So I actually do have a house in Cleveland to move to. So kids are home and they appreciate everything you've done for them. Thank you. I'm done.
Good morning. This is Jeff and Chris. Go ahead.
Last weekend we weren't here because we had our son and our daughter and our oldest granddaughter here celebrating Jeff's 70th birthday. Yay! Everybody went paddling. Thomas made a cake out of a watermelon, and everybody had a really good time. It was a short visit, but it was quite pleasant. And
it was great to see our daughter and one of our grandkids after, like a year and a half.
Yeah, Christmas 2019. So it was quite a lovely low-key visit. And our family motto, one of our family mottos is, it's like we planned it. We just sort of went from one thing to the other and decided, yeah, this sounds like a good thing to do. Let's get Szechuan for dinner. It was quite nice. The other big thing is happening this week. Thursday will be Jeff's last day as an employee of the state of Iowa. He's actually retiring. And I think we've filed all the paperwork correctly. And, we're hoping that we're hoping we have enough money to figure out how to get by.
We will.
Anyway, and then Friday we go to Iowa City for my eye appointment. So it's going to be a busy week.
It is. Thank you. Bye-bye. We're through.
Hi, this is Stasha in Oklahoma City with Matt, and I'll follow along on Jeff's retirement on the job front to say that I have accepted an offer for a new job. I'll be starting that new job a week from tomorrow, and one of the exciting parts is it's 100% remote, which means that wherever Matt is a lot of you know Matt's starting divinity school at ILIF in September, and this gives us a lot more flexibility where I can work from anywhere. So as Matt continues on his path to becoming a UU minister as well. So we're really excited about the new opportunity. I'm done.
I'm Jenny Mogard, and I want to share a little bit about last weekend that we made a trip to Minneapolis to be with our younger daughter, Maren, and her family. Zoe graduated from high school, Southwest High School in Minneapolis, and it was a very wonderful graduation service that didn't even get boring. And it was fascinating to see the diversity in that audience. I would say 20 to 30% of the graduating seniors were Somali, and a large representative of African Americans who lent a great deal of clapping and sounds and howling and joy, along with all the others. So it was a great event, followed by a party on Friday night in their garden, in their backyard, with lots of dancing and great fun. I'm done.
for those milestones that have been spoken, and for those that we hold gently in our hearts and silently. Know that in this community, no one ever needs to make the journey alone, and that you are loved. Let's be together in a moment of silence. It's good to be together. We begin our celebration of religious education with grades K through 1, who the curriculum this year for them was Wonderful Love and Love Surrounds Us, where they explored how and why we are willing to welcome others into our lives. And they also engaged the seven principles and how the principles impact and bring more love to our communities.
Our Wonder Box, and I am wondering if Marilla could guess what we might have in our Wonder Box. Marilla, what do you think?
Flowers from the flower community.
That is right. We made these flowers, didn't we? Yeah, we did. And so can you tell us about why we made these flowers, or what these flowers are about?
Each flower is different, just like each person is different.
Exactly. And that is our very first principle, that every person is important, right? Okay, so now I've got my Wonder Box here again. And I was wondering if Ruby and Ginger, if Ruby could guess what is in this Wonder Box.
Talking stick.
Oh, a talking stick. You are right. And this is a talking stick. That is right. Ginger, what did we learn about talking sticks?
Whoever has it can talk.
That is right. And is it important for everybody to get a turn to talk?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is exactly because that is our fifth principle. Yeah, every person gets a vote about things that concern them. Everybody gets to talk. That is right. And so we have some other things in our Wonder Box, and anybody can answer this. So here is our Wonder Box, and so we might have something else in here that I will pull out, and it is a pot. Do you remember making a pinch pot? Do you? Okay, does anybody know what went in the pinch pot? If you want to unmute yourself, if you can remember.
Food.
Food, that is right, exactly. And so everybody should be able to have enough to eat, right, Marilla? And all that, yes. And we work for a peaceful, free world. And that is our sixth principle. Oh, you've got your pinch pot there. Very nice. I like that. Very good. Okay. Oh, there, and you decorated yours. Very good. Okay, I'm glad you liked that lesson. And we've got our Wonder Box here, and we learned something about the rainforest. And if you want to unmute yourself, you can. See if you remember this picture. You remember that? Okay. So do you remember why we did this activity? No, we were taking care of our earth. We need to take care of our earth. That is our 7th principle. And we need to take care of our earth to take care of everything that lives in it. Well, that is our Wonder Box activity.
Many thanks to our K-1 teachers, Suzanne Zilber and Cheryl Lawson. It takes an incredibly special skill to teach a class to this grade level virtually. And we appreciate all of your work, and we particularly appreciate the participation of the children. Our next song is number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me. The music by and words by Carolyn McDade, performed by Mary Jane Wagner and friends, who I found out after we chose the song that Mary Jane is a member of the UU Church of Northern Chautauqua in Fredonia, which is where my niece Amy attends, which Amy has been with us a number of times, and Mary Jane is thrilled to have her video as part of our service today. Please sing along with Mary Jane and her friends.
Hey everybody, come sing a song with me. Here's our note. La. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll sing a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. A rose in the winter time. Thank you.
Our reading this morning is Telepathy by Michael Dennis Brown. Today I explain telephony to you and telephone and television on the way to daycare. And I said, sometimes when I'm at work, I'll think of you. If I could send you a thought with my mind, you'd get it right then, and maybe you'd smile, stopping a moment at whatever you were doing, or maybe not, but just going on with it, making a mask out of paper plates and orange and green cards with markers and scissors and paste, or screaming circles in the gym, either being a monster or being chased by a gang of them. But you'd still get the picture I was beaming, and you'd brighten inside and flash me something back, which I'd get where I was and smile at. That's telepathy, I said, pulling into the parking lot, looking at you in the mirror.
Grades 2 and 3 this year used and entertained the curriculum called Cartoons. And thanks to teachers Nikki Kruger, Tegan Woline, and Riley Matthews. Grades 2 and 3, Cartoons. This year, the 2nd and 3rd grade class watched Pixar short films, talked about how they relate to the UU principles, and made some amazing crafts. Here are some of their favorites. Vivian says the volcano was my favorite activity because it reminded me of watching and listening to the Lava Song with my mom. We love this song. She also loved La Luna because she likes learning about constellations. The whole class made dinosaur masks from Partysaurus Rex. It was a huge hit. Richard's favorites? Too many to choose. Richard is pictured here with a few crafts from films for the birds and Lifted. Sometimes they got a little bit goofy. But they had a lot of fun. What was your favorite, Milo?
This is one of the projects I made in RE this year. It's a rain stick. But I liked all of them because I got to do them with my friends.
Good morning, this is Dan Haug. One of the things we missed this year is the sound of our RE children's voices. This is a song that that Ann Kimber and the children's choir were working on just before the pandemic, Turn the World Around. We attempted to make a virtual choir in between camera shy children and technological difficulties. That wasn't possible, but my kids, Trillium and Leaf, joined with me in singing this, and I hope that some of our RE kids are out there and can join in singing with us. I hope the adults will join in singing with us too. This is Turn the World Around by Harry Belafonte and Robert Friedman.
We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around.
We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Whoa! So is life. Whoa! So is life. Whoa! So is life. Whoa! So is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Whoa! So is life. Abatiwa. So is life. Whoa! So is life. Abatiwa. So is life. Water make the river wash the mountain. Fire make the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit, only can the spirit turn the world around. Whoa! So is life, Abba-see-wa! Ha! So is life. Whoa! So is life, Abba-see-wa! Ha! So is life. One more time. Whoa! So is life, Abba-see-wa! Ha! So is life. Yay!
Life in Twilliam.
Our grades 6 and 8 this year, the curriculum was Building Bridges, which is a world religions program to deepen youth's understanding of the dynamic, fascinating, and varied world in which they live. It seeks to broaden their knowledge of humanity and embolden their spiritual search. Our thanks to teachers Alexandria Kaufman, Molly Helmers, and Chris McClure. This is a shortened version of the video that they made, and the full-length version of their video will be available on the weekly email next Friday.
What is one interesting thing about a religion that we have covered in RE this year?
One thing I thought was interesting was just how many different, what were they called for like the sub-religions, and what was it called, like different facets of how many different Christian faiths there are. I knew that there was multiple Christian faiths, but I didn't know that there was so many. Like there's really a lot. There's like Catholic, Protestant, Jehovah's Witness, there's Seventh-day Adventist, is Islam, or Islam isn't Christian, but like of the Abrahamic religions too, how there's Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. So that I find that interesting. How many religions are Abrahamic and Christian?
I think one interesting fact about atheism is the lack of like disbelief, the lack of belief in God. I thought that was very interesting because a lot of religions have some sort of like God or hierarchy that they believe in, but in atheism they don't.
We covered a lot. I think one interesting thing that I know that the students really took to was when we were learning about Jainism, and we were going through all of the different things that were considered harmful. And one thing that I think they really latched onto was the idea that some Jains choose not to eat root vegetables because it's considered harm to the plant, because you're killing the plant by pulling it out of the ground. And so then as we were going through, well, you can't eat carrots and you can't eat potatoes, they were so interested in the idea that somebody would choose to give up, French fries and carrots for their religion. Which religion would be the most appealing one to learn more about or attend a service of?
One thing I kind of found was interesting that I kind of want to learn about more. The cult was kind of interesting, although it was scary. It's kind of interesting. I'd like to learn more about it. I just found it kind of interesting.
The indigenous religions, because I want to learn more about their oral traditions.
I would say Buddhism, because Buddhism just kind of fascinates me, how they're different from a lot of other religions.
I think that I would like to learn a lot more about Buddhism because of its focus on mindfulness and connections with the universe and with each other. And, its focus on the inside as well as the outside, the interior universe, and its connection with the outside and our interconnections between all of us. So Buddhism.
I think one that I found really interesting that I'm sure I'll end up pronouncing it wrong, but I believe it's Baha'i faith. I found that one really interesting just because as we were learning about it, there were so many different ties to Unitarian Universalism. And I was learning about the ways that they were trying to promote inclusion and just welcome a diversity of people into their fellowship. And I think that that's something that Unitarian Universalists strive to do. And so I'd be interested to learn more about it and attend a service and kind of see what that looks like in their faith.
I picked two. I think Islam would be one that I would like to learn more about, in part because there are so many people in our community who are Muslims, and I feel like it's a religion I know very little about. And in order to be educated and respectful of those beliefs, I feel like it would be helpful to learn more about it. The other one is the Quakers. And I say that in part because I took violin lessons at the Quaker Meeting House here in Ames. And so I've always thought, wow, that would be kind of interesting to go to a Quaker service and see what that's like.
What are some of the ways other religions are similar or connected to Unitarian Universalism?
So all religions in general, not specific religions, but in general, most religions are all based upon building communities based on faith. And that applies to Unitarian Universalism as well.
Unitarian Universalism and Hinduism both commit to nonviolence and nonviolent social reforms.
Well, I think atheism is because of the lack of God. In Unitarian Universalism, we don't study that there is a God. It's kind of like if you believe in God, you can believe in God. If you don't, you don't have to. And so it's a thing where some people don't believe in God. So that goes into atheism also.
Well, religions are meant to help us as a community to make connections and to understand about the world and about humanity and about the things that are so mysterious about the universe. And that's what UUs try to do. And that's what Catholics and Buddhists and all the other religions try to do, is they try to understand life in a way that makes sense.
We learned about a lot of different religions and drew a lot of different connections. But I think one that we kept coming back to was the desire to care for the natural world and recognize that things that we do affect other people and other natural elements. So I think when we drew those ties, it made me hopeful that there are lots of different people with lots of different belief systems, but that we all have these desires to care for our earth, to care for the people around us, to just be more loving towards the people in our lives. And I think that's something that we can forget about And so it was nice to draw those connections and see that that's something that a lot of different religions were focusing on.
I think the one theme that I saw come up over and over again is what we consider our golden rule: do unto others as you would have done to yourself. And so this idea that respecting others and respecting yourself is a constant, and also that faith is really part of our core value system, right? That's what teaches us good and bad, and how to make decisions every day based on what we believe. And I don't think that we always think of that as our faith in Unitarian Universalism, when in fact it really is.
What is something that you have enjoyed about virtual RE this year?
I think it was one thing that was easier was that we didn't really have to worry as much about missing it because if we realize like 5 minutes before service starts that we need to be there, it's easier to just get onto your computer and log on to the Zoom meeting than to have to drive all the way over there and definitely be late.
It's different than in person, and I like change, and you're usually never late because it takes like 2 minutes to get on.
Being able to sleep in, definitely. And again, not being late and just kind of being able to kind of do stuff in the morning before church, and then be able to do church and then kind of just go on my day.
I've enjoyed seeing all the religions.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I was able to continue to be part of the fellowship and to interact with our middle school students, and be a small part of this time in their religious exploration, because you'd see some religions come up and they'd all be really interested, or some of them would be interested and some of them would be going, oh no, I don't believe that. And so it was interesting to go through the different religions and kind of see what stuck. And I enjoyed getting to hear their roses and their thorns, what was going on in their life, and just to have a source of human connection in this very isolating year, and to be around all of their energy, which sometimes was a lot, but overall it was awesome to get to interact with all of them and get their perspective on these religions that they were learning about for their first time, and also learn along with them, because a lot of them I had not heard of before.
This is true. I would add that very thing. For me, the best part of teaching this class was learning along with them, because in order to do a little bit of preparation and feel like I could be an instructor on Sunday morning, I had to read a little bit, watch a few videos, at least have a fundamental idea of what this religion was about.
Yeah, same here.
That's great. It's great.
Well, thank you to all our volunteer teachers, including also Holly Bignall, Maya Hazlett, and Gabby Cassini, who taught 4th and 5th, but there was generally one person in that class. And so I don't have a video for that class, but you can see that not only do the students love participating in religious education, but our volunteer teachers are getting as much out of it as well. I hope that when Janelle gets here in late July and starts looking for volunteer teachers for September, when we hope to be back in person, I hope you'll say yes. Our closing song today is Change to Come by Leah Morris and the Carpe Diem Summer Art Venturers. The lyrics are provided so that you can follow along or join Leah in this lovely closing song.
I'm tired of staying home, of missing my friends, tired of online school, tired of everything being closed, having to stay apart at the pool, tired of having nowhere to go except from where I'm from. I know this can't go on forever. I'm waiting for a change to come. I remember the last day right before the pandemic. It was a Wednesday, it was kind of hectic. They decided to shut down the whole school just for 2 weeks, but it's gone on and on and on. Tired of staying home, missing my friends, tired of online school, tired of everything being closed, having to stay apart at the pool, tired of having nowhere to go except for where I'm from. I know this can't go on forever. I'm waiting for a change to come. Tired of poverty and suffering, some not getting paid enough. Tired of some people thinking that color of skin puts them above. Tired of pollution in the land and sea, global warming is just plain dumb. I know this can't go on forever. I'm waiting for a change to come. Coming up through history, we're getting closer together. We've come such a long way, but we can still do better. We help each other and learn to care a little more every day. It goes on and on and on. Tired of poverty and suffering, some not getting paid enough. Tired of some people thinking that color of skin puts them above. Tired of pollution in the land and sea, global warming is just plain dumb. I know this can't go on forever. I'm waiting for a change to come. I'll be waiting for a change to come. Let's be the change to come.
We extinguish this chalice with words by James Carse. To be playful is not to be trivial or frivolous, or to act as though nothing of consequence will happen. On the contrary, when we are playful with each other, we relate as free persons, and the relationship is open to surprise. Everything that happens is of consequence. It is, in fact, seriousness that closes itself to consequence, for seriousness is a dread of the unpredictable outcome of open possibility. To be serious is to press for a specified conclusion. To be playful is to allow for possibility whatever the cost to oneself. May we continue to be playful and allow for possibility. Our 75th anniversary moment this morning, I found a picture of a Secret Friends group from 1995 and the ever popular Time Machine from 1988. Thank you for being with us this morning, and thank you for your generosity as you go to our UUFA website and the giving page to make your June gift to the Ames High School Prairie or to other initiatives of great importance, such as Black Lives Matter or our partner church. Again, thanks for being with us and thanks for your generosity. We'll now go into breakout rooms and we'll see you after 15 minutes.